Yo guys, Curious Brit back again, and in today's video we're doing something slightly different. We're watching a YouTube video from the channel called Brit, and we are reacting to 15 strange things that seem normal only in South Korea. So if you like what you see, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, hit subscribe down below, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a future upload. If there's anything you want me to react to in the future, drop it in the comments down below. If there's any other country you want me to make a video of like this, drop it in the comments down below. I have done a video previously like this about Japan. I'll leave it up there in the cards. I've also done one about America. But without further ado, let's jump straight into it.
15 strange things that seem normal only in South Korea. South Korea is a country of contrasts, where modern technologies and ancient Eastern traditions harmoniously combine into something totally unique in and of itself. Every journey to this amazing country reveals countless new secrets and mysteries. So here's a selection of the most remarkable findings from South Korea that just might astonish you. 15. They have unbeatable state support for pregnant women. The state definitely goes out of its way to support pregnant women in this country. For example, expecting women in South Korea are given a special credit card from the government with a $500 balance on it. A future mother can spend this money on medical treatment and all necessary supplements and prescriptions. The state also gives these women a little trinket that allows them to use public.
Yo, respect South Korea. Out there setting standards.
Public transport with comfort and ease.
Yo.
Pink subway seats are reserved specifically for expecting mothers. And the trinket activates a sign so that.
Yo. Fuck. Seats for pregnant people. Here in the UK, you look give someone who'll move to let a disabled person sit down, let an old person sit down. In Korea, seat lights up because you're pregnant. What?
That all other passengers know that there's a soon-to-be mommy in the car. This is especially helpful for those in the early stages of pregnancy when it's not so obvious that a woman is expecting. They also get special parking spots near the entrance.
How big's that parking space for? What? No. Free parking right at the door for pregnant women. No, not in this country. In this country, you got to drive to the hospital yourself, find a parking space, then pay to park your car there, and then hope you haven't missed your kid being born. But not in Korea. Straight in priority parking, straight through. Respect Korea. Send levels. Rest of the world need to take note of this.
Of most public buildings and other facilities. And they're not just for pregnant women. Mothers can use these parking places up to 6 months after giving birth.
What? Wow.
14. Almost every bus stop has a digital information panel with the bus schedule on it in real time. To start with, there are bus stops conveniently placed near every subway station in Seoul. And all the buses in South Korea are new and equipped with air conditioning. Buses run 24/7, but they don't stop at all scheduled bus stops. That's why you need to be attentive. And when you see the bus you need, you have to signal for it to stop. The public bus system can be pretty confusing at first, especially if you don't know Korean. In Seoul alone, there are over 400 bus routes with 8,500 buses connecting even the farthest corners of the city.
Wow.
At the same time, a taxi ride will cost you almost the same as a bus ticket if you manage to find 3 or 4 people to share the cab with you. 13. It's totally normal to try the food in grocery stores. In the majority of Korean supermarkets, there are unlimited samples for you to test. And even if there aren't specific samples laid out for shoppers, nobody controls how much food a customer tries before buying or not buying. 12. South Koreans like to give and receive practical gifts.
Like in this country, fair enough, you can eat the food and take it empty wrap into the till and pay for it, but you still gotta pay for it. You eat it, don't pay, that's theft. Not in Korea, just out here like, oh, you want to try it, have as much as you want. Try open that, eat it. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. We wouldn't get away with it in the UK.
Gifts. A traditional gift at a housewarming party is a few rolls of toilet paper. They really love practical gifts like this, and especially ones that can be eaten.
Gifts.
For example, management at one South Korean company presented their employees with food baskets. These edible arrangements come in different combinations and can be bought in any grocery store before big festivities.
That's understandable. That is understandable. Like me at work, every year for Christmas, we get a food hamper with different festive treats in. A bottle of wine, some crackers, some popcorn, some luxurious crisps, some truffles, not like a basket of fruit or a basket of bread like they're out in Korea gifting, but I suppose it's a well thought out, meaningful gift, isn't it? Because the person giving you it, at the end of the day, they just care about you, don't they? They're giving you something to look after yourself so you can be with them for longer. So it's quite thoughtful, really, isn't it?
Activities. 11. TV hosts wear traditional clothing on the Korean New Year. And that's not the only New Year tradition in this country. The Korean New Year usually takes place in January or February, depending on the time of the second new moon after the winter solstice. Koreans celebrate Solal, or New Year, for 3 days, on the day before, on, and after the New Year. And if you decide to travel around the country at this time of year, you might encounter some serious obstacles. And that's because everybody visits their families and childhood homes for a festive celebration. Just to highlight exactly how hectic it is, train and bus tickets are usually sold months in advance. As for traveling by car, it can take you 4 times longer because of enormous traffic jams.
Korea.
10. Kindergartners have color-coded uniforms. Each kindergarten has a specific uniform in a certain color so that kids don't get lost in the crowd during field trips and walks around the city. You gotta admit, this is so simple yet incredibly logical, since teachers can easily spot the kids from their own group. 9.
Well, yeah, we've got pretty much the same thing over here. It's called a uniform. All the kids are wearing the same, so you know which establishment they're visiting from. You'll have the logo embroidered. You'll have the school's logo embroidered in the name of the school, usually on the left-hand side of the chest, on rather the jumper or the polo. So it's not really revolutionary, is it? But it is clever. Like, you's are green, we are blue, they're red, they're yellow. So it is quite clever in one sense, because you're not.
Churches give little pleasant gifts to their parish. About 4 times a year, big churches arrange free visits to dentists and hairstylists for their parish. They even have representatives who actively recruit people and businesses that want to participate in this generous program. The most common way they invite community partners is by distributing free wet wipes with their church's address on them. By the way, South Korea is home to the most visited church in the world, with a parish
That's a church.
consisting of over 1 million people a year.
What? That's a.
8.
Whoa, that's
High
a
schoolers
church.
study until midnight.
No. Whoa,
So that's how much we try and sell you home.
No.
That's great. Thanks. What are you doing?
I'm spying on them to find out if they're a good estate agent or not.
Or we could just use Get Agent.
Skip your birds.
Korean kids have to study a lot.
No.
Elementary students have classes from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Middle schoolers go home at 10 p.m. And high schoolers sometimes have to study until 1 in the morning.
till
That's why
midnight,
school
let it
libraries are open
know.
24/7. Unfortunately, all this intense cramming doesn't help a child's development. It actually has the opposite effect. Many of them lose interest in hobbies because they simply don't have any time for any kind of a personal life. They study all the time, sleep during their daily commute, and spend any bit of free time on social media. 7. Couples like to wear matching clothes.
Oh.
South Korean lovebirds like to let everyone around know that they're an item. In fact, a relationship is supposed to be an all-consuming affair. Couples use social media to brag, have cute little celebrations every 100 days, and even arrange romantic vacations almost every month. Not to mention, they choose to display their in-love status with the help of matching outfits. A lot of paired clothes and shoes can be found in special stores like Sweet Bong Bong, Couple Plaza, or Couple Market. Sweethearts of any age can find just what they're looking for. 6. The best gift for a teacher is a cup of coffee or candy. While you might remember giving your teacher an apple or some flowers, South Korean parents and children like to show their gratitude to a teacher by giving them candy or a cup of coffee. What's more, there's an established gift-giving culture in Korea with certain rules. For example, big gifts to teachers or public officials are considered bribes. And when somebody visits your home in this country, you can be sure that they'll bring a drink, dessert, or fruit. 5. They have themed subway cars. There are lots of themed subway cars dedicated to certain cartoon characters. Stations are even announced in these characters' voices, and they have life-size sculptures of them sitting on the seats. In Seoul, there's a subway train dedicated to a comedy animated series called Larva. It runs on the Green Line 8 times a day and features 2 of the cartoon's main characters in every car. 4. It's a more isolated country than we think. Koreans practically never listen to music or watch movies from other countries. They're not very familiar with Western traditions, and they don't even have geography at school. At the same time, they'd be happy to tell you anything you want to know about K-pop singers and bands. The most popular musical group among the South Korean youth is the boy band BTS. 3. They don't really eat dogs. This is a dying trend in South Korea since almost the entire young generation has never
even heard about Korea eating dogs. Growing up, it was always, don't go to China, they'll eat your dog. Oh, that Chinese takeaway down the street, serving dog, it's not chicken. Never once have I heard about Korea eating dogs.
never even tried dog meat. Now, it is still possible to try this dish there, but it's extremely expensive. Modern Korean cuisine is really healthy. They usually eat grilled meat without oil, a lot of vegetables and plants, and rice. But even more than rice, Koreans love coffee. Me too. 2. There's a lack of trash bins but plenty of public restrooms. You won't find any trash bins on the street in South Korea because the people there are super tidy. Now you might be thinking, what are you supposed to do with your empty water bottle? Well, there are lots of public restrooms around with trash cans inside. You can find them at each subway station and in every park. The restrooms are very clean and come with all the necessary amenities. They have separate...
You are. So, I want to... For example, I finished my drink. I want to put my bottle in the bin. I've got to go to the toilet to find a bin to put my...
stalls for disabled people, and women's restrooms are, of course, equipped with diaper changing stations.
No, just the women's, yeah? Just the women's.
1.
Just the women's, though. The men can men not look after kids? This is what annoys me. Yeah? A single father myself. It annoys me. Yeah? Where the baby changing facilities in the male toilets? Why they're always in the female? Make them separate. I put them in the disabled. Separate. No. 9 times out of 10, they're in the women's. A man can have a child. A man can, raise their kid as well, you know, That annoys me. That has annoyed me, that about Korea. but it is what it is.
South Koreans' workaholism has no limits. The government of South Korea has recently taken an active fight against workaholism, which has become a countrywide disease. Office workers are now required, by law, to turn off their computers on Friday evening. Everybody is supposed to abide by this new rule, but on special occasions some exclusions can be made. Public officials are also exempt, 67% to be precise. This drastic measure is necessary to force people to have a healthy work-life balance. Still, not all South Koreans appreciate this new law.
It's just some stupid law though, isn't it? But they were quite interesting and unique, like things I didn't know about Korea and I probably would never find out, but now I know them. But I would love to go to Korea. It does look like a fascinating place, and I love a Korean barbecue. Ooh, bit of kimchi, bit of ribeye. Ooh, bon appetit. That's not even Korean, but I don't know what the fucking Korean version is, so I'm not even going to attempt to try and say it. But anyway, if you've liked what you've seen, smash the thumbs up, hit subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss an upload. And until next time, I've been the Curious Brit. Peace out, or what they'd say in Korea, Ono yo yogi gaji.